Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Jody. I am so honored to be teaching still for Krannert Art Museum. What a unique opportunity to reach out to people that I might not normally have an opportunity to be a part of their lives, and I'm very much grateful for that. So I've been mostly homebound with COVID, even though there's the opportunity to do these recordings in the museum, and yeah, I'm definitely feeling more of that lower energy, that transition from from winter to spring, just a little bit rocky. And I think just a lot of people in shifts and just in lulls, and I'm definitely feeling that myself. So one of these days, I keep promising we'll be back at the museum, and I do miss it. I do have that opportunity to record from there, but I'm definitely also feeling the need to nurture myself in ways that I haven't in the past. And I hope that if you're feeling that in your own life, you're making some shifts and changes that are necessary for you in all arenas of your life, including this practice. So if something feels too challenging, if it doesn't feel right for you, if you want to nurture more of the nervous system, then take it easy. If you've got the energy, if you've got the drive, I always say go for it. And it shifts and it changes. There's always these ebbs and flows, right? So really just listening to where you're at in terms of all of that. We still have a lot of healing to do. So with all that being said, we'll start in a heart opening. That'll wake us up, that'll liven us up. So have 2 blocks, have a blanket, you can have a bolster for Shavasana. You can have a strap. I'm not sure if we're going to use it. You can always use a scarf as well. But definitely the 2 blocks. 1 block under the shoulder blades, 1 block under the head, and then you're just going to come onto your back and support the shoulder blades under that 1 block. It's widthwise, so both shoulder blades should rest there, and then the other block under the head. And I like to keep my knees bent, but it's up to you. You can lengthen legs, feet can go wide, arms just alongside the body. You don't want that to take away from the focus, which is just settling in, giving the mind time to be present. Giving yourself a moment to simply breathe. Close the eyes, rest them. This midday break. You can take deeper breaths here. Just feeling expanded in the lungs. Letting the breath open you from within. Legs can go long or knees can stay bent. It just depends on what's going on with the body, how this feels, the low back. Arms relaxed alongside the body in a way that feels comfortable and supportive. And allow the body to relax into the supports. Relaxing in the face, around the jaw, the lips, the tongue. Relaxing the neck so the head is heavy. Relaxing shoulders, arms, elbows, all the way through fingers. Relaxing in the chest, in the ribs. And breathing into the soft belly. Relaxing the pelvis, the low back, the hips. Softening the legs, the thighs, the knees, shins, calves, ankles and feet. Just being present, but relaxed. Inviting what you need from this practice. When your inhalation is breathing that in, maybe it's your intention. And as you exhale, releasing anything that feels heavy. Just staying with that breath, that in and out. Receiving as you inhale. Releasing as you exhale. Keeping this awareness of your breath throughout your practice today. Starting to deepen the breath, preparing the body for movement. You can open and close the mouth into a yawn to release tension in the jaw even more. A little rock of the head from side to side, just noticing the range of motion, any stiffness, any resistance. Making sure everything feels good and safe. Moving through fingers, wrists. You can start to extend the legs if you haven't already, and extend the arms up overhead. Spread the fingers, spread the toes, and breathe. One more breath here. And rebend the knees one at a time. Bending the elbows to the sides just to get a deeper stretch, so the weight of the arms opening across the chest. Make any adjustment you need, and then breathe, using the breath. Inviting 3 more deep breaths into the body. Moving mindfully, slowly. You can start to carefully dismount off of the props, resting in a fetal position onto your side with the head supported. And starting to roll the chest and the belly more towards the earth, flipping around into your child's pose. You can always use a block to support the head, forehead. Use the forearms, just let the head be heavy. So make sure you've got some room here in your child's pose, knees can be wide. And allowing for some room in the neck, and again you can rock the head from side to side, so the forehead's on a block or it's on the ground. But there's no straining happening, we're just kind of moving a little, rocking the head a little. Eventually coming back through center, stilling the movement, taking a deep breath. Starting to stretch along through the arms, preparing for down dog. You curl the toes under, press the mat away, lift the hips up and back. And start to bend the right knee and ground the left heel. Press the mat away, lift the tailbone, breathe. You can have a soft left knee here, but the right knee is bent. And then opposite leg bending, opposite heel grounding. Actively press the mat away. Then lift both heels up towards the sky and then over to the left side of the mat. See if you can ground both heels down, pressing longer through that right side. Maybe the heels are still lifted, that spine, but they're over towards that left side, maybe the left knee a little bit more bent. And then lifting the heels up through center and then over to that right side. So see where you need to soften through the knees, ground through the heels, keep pressing the mat away. Pressing more through that left side body. Just one more breath. Lift the heels up and then ground through the shins. You can come through seated on your shins or seated on a block for a moment. And from here, just rolling through the wrists. You can make gentle fists with the hands and just creating a few circles. It can be a lot of weight bearing for the wrists. Start to circle in the opposite direction. And shake out the hands. And make little butterflies with the thumb. So you're interlacing one thumb on top of the other, spread the fingers. And then try to draw the biceps by the ears without arching the back. I'm going to draw the spine, the ribs into the spine, slightly tuck the tailbone, core is active. We're going to pulse this back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, little micro movements, 4, 3, still breathing, 1. Relaxing the arms down alongside the body, move like you're moving through water, so there's a little bit of resistance. And then just taking some rolls through the shoulders, breathing, creating space in the shoulders, up, back, and down. One more time. So we're going to think about opening up through the lats, opening up the spine, and opening up those triceps, so the backs of the arms. We're going to use the blocks for that. So we've got some options. You can have the blocks at the high height at the top of the mat. Make sure they're symmetrical and they're shoulder width apart. And be careful here that you're actually placing the elbows right on the center of the blocks. Start to back your knees up, back your hips up. You can interlace the fingers, maybe even coming through that power mudra, pointing the pointer finger and the thumb, and then just bow the head. Bring the thumbs to touch the nape of the neck. Head is heavy. Make sure there's no pain or sharpness here. Think about lengthening. You can even walk the feet or the legs back a little bit more. And breathe. Breathe a little more shallowly here. Elongate the exhalations. One more breath. Be cautious as you come out, so you can press the elbows down into the blocks, releasing the palms to the earth. And the blocks can just go off to the side, just out of the way for a moment as you make your way mindfully, slowly through your tabletop. Head is heavy, and just start to sway the head from side to side. Open the neck. And pressing into fingertips, pressing into knuckles. Core is active here. And start to circle the hips clockwise or counterclockwise.
circling in the opposite direction. Breathing. Back through center and come through a couple of cat-cows. So as always, inhaling to lift the gaze, lift the tailbone, open the heart. Exhale, finding that roundedness, actively pressing the mat away. Deep inhalation. Complete exhalation. One more time, inhaling. And this time as you exhale, round the spine, maybe taking a couple breaths. Sink the hips back to the heels. Back into a child's pose. The forehead can come to the earth or stacked hands. Just breathe. One more breath. Drawing the palms back under the shoulders, coming back into a tabletop position. And we're going to come into a puppy pose. So you can walk your hands forward and wrists are shoulder width or a little bit wider. Keeping the hips kind of over the heels, inhale here. And then as you exhale, think about sinking the heart to the ground. Keep the arms strong, inhale, press back away from the ground. And then exhale. Think about that chest touching the ground, maybe the chin touching the ground, and then inhale, rising. So we're building strength here. Exhale, releasing. Maybe there's contact. One more time, inhaling. And this time, as you exhale, you're going to be in this shape. Maybe the forehead's to the earth, maybe the chin. And breathe. You can take hold of the top of the mat for support, lift the tailbone, open the throat. One more breath. Draw the low belly in and up. You can start to walk your hands back, coming back into a tabletop position. And again, it might feel good to sway the hips, sway the head, release any tension. Breathe. Any kind of reset that feels good here. And then again, we're going to come through seated on shins. I always like to sit on a block. Block can be at the low height. Block can be at that second highest height. Maybe you have two blocks that you're just stacking one on top of the other. Does not matter, but coming to sit on shins just for a moment. So you don't want a huge stretch or even tension in the knee joints. Put a tall spine in this hero's pose, rolling through shoulders, up, back, and down. And so from here, lifting the gaze, inhaling, lifting the chin, exhaling to bow the head. Couple more times like that. And as you lift the chin, think also about lengthening the back of the neck. And one more time. And bringing the neck level. So aligning the neck with the rest of the spine, and then just rotating the head from side to side without forcing anything. Just kind of see where your range of motion is today. I'm really stiff in my neck today. One side definitely more open. It's obvious to me, so see where you're at with your neck. Breathing. Think about lengthening through the spine, all the way through the crown of the head. Eventually we're coming back through center and then just bowing the head heavy. Like your chin is going to trace your collarbones. Going to move from side to side.
Relax the jaw. Just sway a little in the head. Open the neck. One more time. From side to side. Back through center, head heavy. Rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone. Exhale. As you inhale, just reach the heart forward. Arch the back, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the gaze. And then exhale, rounding. You can start to drive the hands towards the knees. Open up the back body and then slide the hands up towards the thighs as you lift the gaze, arching. We'll just do this one more time. Coming back into just a nice, long, neutral spine. From here, shifting off of the blocks, coming back to a tabletop position. The left palm's gonna stay grounded. You're gonna kickstand that left foot off to the side of the mat. Extend the right leg along, so that gives you some room in the hips. The pinky toe edge of the foot is in line with the back of the mat. So stack the hips, stack the shoulders. You can start to reach the fingertips skyward and then reach long through that side body. Reach the arm up overhead. Start to circle. Down, back, and up. Toning through the core. Every time you reach long, extend that hip away from the shoulder. And then you can start to circle in the opposite direction. You can think about opening the chest more skyward as you reach that arm up. So using your support, everything making contact with the earth. One more time, one more beautiful circle. When the hand is back close to the ground, just coming back to your tabletop. And then just switching sides. So that right hand is going to come to the ground, kickstand the right foot off to the side. That opens up the hips so you can extend the left leg. You can reach the arm up, fingertips skyward, and then reach towards the front of the mat, circling the shoulder. Breathing. So be in no hurry here. If anything, slow down the movements, really feeling that extension and expansion through the spine, through that side waist. Notice those inhalations can circle in the opposite direction, but those inhalations naturally reach the arm up, opens up the chest. Those exhalations a bit more grounding as you circle the hand closer to the earth. One more slow circle just like that. Take your time, and when that left hand is close to the ground again, you'll just press back into your child's pose, resting the wrists, taking a break, sensing the body, and breathing. One more breath. And press the palms under the shoulders. Tabletop. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. Exhale, curl toes under, lift hips up and back, down dog. This time just exploring this shape on your own, whatever you need here. And still pedal out through the feet. And lift legs, sway the head. It's flowing the awareness through the body. Just a few more breaths here.
And then step the feet wide. Pinky toe edges of feet in line with the edges of the mat. Take your time. You can walk the hands back. Start to soften through the knees a little bit. You can let the arms dangle, the head dangles. Rocking forward and back, heel to toe, toe to heel. Keep spreading toes each time. If it feels better, you can sway from side to side. Or just finding a place of stillness. One more breath. Start to bend the knees, creating a shelf for the hands. Walk the hands to the thighs. Start to press away into the thighs, lengthening the spine, rolling up slowly. Transition that's mindful through standing as you take some rolls through shoulders as soon as you arrive up, back, and down. Breathing in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And then just stepping the feet about hip distance apart. Hands can come to the hips. We're starting to open up hip flexors, this hip crease area, just by circling the hips, but also the outer hip, those glutes, back, gluteus maximus, all those hip stabilizing muscles. Moving that femur bone in the hip socket. Engage the glutes as you press the hips forward and then circling in the opposite direction. Coming back through center. Finding mountain pose, relax the arms alongside the body. Finding that uplifted energy in the spine. Let's pause for a breath. Start to lift the toes, fan them out, spread them out, and replant them to the earth. Connecting to the breath, and as you inhale, lift the heels away from the earth. And then as you exhale, use the entire exhalation to ground the heels back down. So you finish the exhalation when you ground the heels. And then inhale, lift the heels, maybe lifting the arms at the same time. And then using control, exhale, float the arms down, finishing the exhalation. Timing that with the arms relaxing and the heels grounding. And then just a couple more times on your own. You can play with lifting the arms, keeping them lifted. Or if you like that additional movement, you can play with that. And the next time you ground the heels, will just stay. And hands to the hips. Playing with balance. The left foot's going to ground, so spread the toes, broaden through that foot. Start to shift the weight to the left foot as you drive the right knee up. Thigh to the belly, heel to the butt. And then keep the hips squared as you drive the knee to the side. And then back around the sole of the foot, barely touching that inner left leg. Drive the knee forward and then up again. And just circle this with as much control and range of motion as possible. Just breathe. And then the next time that foot comes in and touches the inner leg, make sure it's below or it's above the knee. We're coming into a tree pose. Arms can relax down, arms can float up. Finding a gazing point that's level with the eyes or higher. One more breath. Hands to the heart, press everything to the midline, draw the knee towards the midline. Inhale, lift the knee up, and then exhale, release that foot to the earth. And just start to circle through the ankles. You can shake out the feet. You can shift Bend the knees a little from side to side. Just gonna let it all go. And finding balance once again, hands to the hips. That right foot's gonna ground, so spread the toes, broaden through the foot. Find the balance, find the gazing point, drive that left knee up, thigh to the belly, heel to the butt. Circle out to the side, hips squared forward. Barely touch the sole of the foot to the inner thigh or leg. Draw the knee forward, hug the midline and drive the knee up. Circle around. One more time, just like that. Nice and slow with control. We're working the glutes. That foot touches the inner leg somewhere below or above the knee. And we're just going to be in tree pose. And again, it's up to you. Arms can relax. Maybe one arm is down, one arm is up. You can find your wisdom mudra, thumb and pointer finger touching. If you're feeling good, you can close the eyes. Just one more breath. Hands to the heart. Draw the knee towards the midline. Drive the knee up, thigh to the belly, heel to the butt. Inhale and then exhale, release that foot to the ground and then just roll it out. Let it go. All my poppy joints. And from your mountain pose, that left foot's gonna ground once again, and you're gonna extend the right leg back, coming on the tops of the toes, and then just circle that ankle. Engage the glutes. Think about lengthening through that right leg. Circling around on the toes and in the opposite direction. Every time you press the leg back, really engage the glutes, open up the hip flexor. And we're just going to switch it out. So right leg stabilizes, left leg extends back on the tops of the toes and then just circling. This should just feel good. It's just kind of a release. Circling the opposite direction. And then finding your mountain pose at the top of the mat. Actually, find your two blocks and we'll place those at the high height at the top of the mat. I'm just going to change my orientation just so you can see what's happening here. So mountain pose at the top of the mat, blocks at the ready, hands to the hips. Really strengthen through the back body and open the chest. Inhale. Lengthen the spine. Exhale. Keep all of that as you hinge at the hips. Knees can soften. Taking hold of the blocks, you can move them back. As you ground the left foot, step the right foot back, and you're on the ball of that foot. So hips squaring forward. That might mean right hip drawing forward, left hip drawing back, and just bending that right knee. And as you extend the right leg, also engage that right glute. So we're just bending, nothing else is changing, and extending. Last time, bending and extending. And from here, the block comes a little closer to that front foot. That right hand is on the block. Bring the left hand to the hip and press into the block as you twist, inhale. And then as you exhale, relax that left arm down. Bring the left hand to the left shoulder, inhale, twisting, core is active, still active through that right leg, and then exhale. And maybe as you twist this time, reach where the wall meets the ceiling, so you're at a bit more of an angle, and then exhale, relax. And maybe this time, reaching skyward, twisting the body, stack the shoulders, one more inhalation. And then as you exhale, we're just going to move the blocks out of the way, frame that front foot, step it back. So glutes are active, core is active, shifting forward, inhale, maybe knees to the earth, exhale, lowering down. Elbows hug in towards the midline of the body. Flattening out, lengthening out. Inhale, baby cobra. So strengthen the back body, lengthen the spine, exhale, back down.
Inhale, lift, lengthen, neck is neutral. Exhale, softening with control. Inhale, lifting, core is active. Lift hips up and back, inner big toes touch and down dog. Lifting with the left heel, inhale. Exhale, shift forward, hollow out the belly, plant that foot. Keep the right heel lifted, hips square forward, walk your hands to your thigh. Stay here. Or float the belly away from the thigh, arch the back, and still staying active in the back body core, much like we did with our cobra. Stay here, or goalpost arms, cactus arms, or uplifted arms. Arching the spine, lengthening the spine, squaring the hips. One more breath. And then hands to the hips, shifting the body weight forward, and start to step forward as you're ready. Slow with control. Back to your mountain pose. Relax the arms alongside the body. Checking in. Check in with the body, the breath. The heartbeat. And then hands to the hips. Inhale, find length. Strengthen the back body core. Exhale, hinging forward, finding the blocks. Move them. Right foot stays, left foot steps back. Square the hips forward. Make sure the feet are about hip distance apart. You can start to just bend that left knee and extend, engage through the core. Engage the back thigh, those hamstrings. Bending, tuck the tailbone, extending, really active in that glute. One more time, bending and extending. You can walk the left block in, left hand in. Right hand to the hip, inhale, press into the block, gazing over the right shoulder if that's safe for the neck, and then exhale, let that right arm dangle. And then right hand to the right shoulder, inhale, twist and open. Core is active, that back glute active. Exhale, soften. Inhale, reaching the fingertips to where the wall meets the ceiling, at more of an angle. Exhale, we're easing into this twist, and then see where it's most comfortable for you. We're going to stay a few breaths here, maybe reaching fingertips skyward, but the twist is happening at the spine, happening at the core. Stable through the legs, one more inhalation, reaching, and then exhale, unwinding. Framing that front foot, blocks are out of the way, step it back to plank. From here, little side plank action on the left side. Maybe you just shift to the left and you stack the legs. You might have that left shin to the ground. We did this before. That's just a variation. Or the legs can stack one in front of the other. So we've got some options here. Just one more breath. Vashisthasana. Back through your plank and then other side. Again, you can stack one foot on top of the other. You can lower that right shin to the ground. These are just options. One foot's in front of the other. Stabilizing. Just one more breath. And then back to plank. Shifting forward, inhale, maybe you're on your knees. Exhale, lower down. Core is active, no swaying in the low back. This time we're just gonna prop right up into a Sphinx pose. I'm still active through the legs, actively drawing the tailbone towards the heels, actively dragging the hands and the arms back towards the heels of the feet to reach the heart forward. So really utilizing that sticky mat. Reaching the heart forward, spreading the collarbones. And breathe. That puppy pose, we really opened up the front of the body early on in the practice, so take advantage of that. Toning the back body core through this, as well as our baby cobras. One more breath. And then glide the palms under the shoulders. See how much you can stay lifted and absorb the belly into the spine. Curl toes, maybe the knees lift, maybe you float through the knees. We're just gonna press up and back with all that strength to down dog. Inner big toes touch. And then as you're ready, inhale, right leg lifts, the heel is lifting, hips stay squared. Exhale, hollow out the belly. Step that right foot forward. From here, you can walk to the right thigh. You can stay. Or arms alongside the body. Really active through the glutes, active through the core. You can play with opening into goalpost arms, cactus arms, maybe uplifted arms. Really lengthening through the spine and breathing. Just one more breath. And hands to the hips. Shift the torso forward, free up that back leg, and step forward to mountain pose as you're ready. Connecting to the breath, and finish an exhalation. Inhale, sweeping arms up, open the heart, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to fold forward, swan dive, lead with the heart, strengthen the back body. Inhale to lift up halfway, strong in the core. Exhale to bend the knees, plant the palms, stepping back into the top of a push-up, so finding your plank here. And inhale, shift forward on the tippy toes, maybe knees to the earth as you exhale to lower down. Chaturanga, onto the belly. And then lengthen out. Inhale, cobra. You got that back body core strength. Press the mat away, up and back, your choice, to a down dog or your child's pose. Breathe. Connect. One more breath. And drawing the knees to the earth. Coming more towards the top of the mat, coming to seated. Making sure there's plenty of room back behind you. You're gonna reach between the legs for the pinky toe edges of feet. Walk the heels back, finding a little balance on the sit bones. Feet lifted. Round through the spine, keep the head lifted, use as much core strength as possible as you rock back onto the back. So keeping that roundedness in the spine, and then relax the head. Just a moment in your happy baby. Then we'll find a twist. So knees bent, thighs into the belly, arms extend out, palms are up or down. Inhale through center, and then exhale, legs to the right, gaze to the left, touching down. 3 deep breaths. Heavy in the left shoulder. Rocking the back of the head to the ground. Draw the left knee up, followed by the right. A little rock from side to side here. And then knees release to the left, arms open, gazing over that right shoulder. Heavy the right shoulder. 3 deep breaths. Neck back through center, gazing skyward, float the right knee, followed by the left, hug the knees in, and offer yourself what you need here. It might be nice to circle the knees, maybe you want that happy baby again. Just finishing your practice as you need. And then making your way into our final resting pose, legs long, feet wide, arms alongside the body as you tuck the shoulders away from ears. You can have a bolster or pillow under the knees. And consciously relax tension out of the body. You breathe in through the nose, and then as you breathe out through the mouth, just melt into the earth. Find a stillness, find a softness, and simply rest.
Bring the awareness back to the breath. You can open and close the mouth into a yawn or a deeper breath. Rocking the head from side to side. Inviting movements into fingers and toes, ankles, wrists. Stretching arms overhead, full body stretch. Breathing here.
Bending one knee, bend the other, feet planting. Slow and mindful as you roll to either side, curling into a fetal position, head supported, belly soft. Taking something with you from this practice into your day. Something supportive, nurturing, something that honors your true self. Closed eyes or soft gaze, use the strength of your arms. Begin to press up to seated. Rounded spine, heavy head. Until you find that rooting down through the sit bones, pelvis. And from that strong foundation, find a tall spine and an open heart. And bringing palms together. This mudra, Anjali mudra, it's a seal of offering. Acknowledge this offering to yourself. It's a gift of time and practice. And I'm grateful for the honor to lead and guide you through this practice. Namaste. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.